Hey guys, this is Cheney180, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Storm Collectibles Ryu figure. Finally got my hands on this thing, and I must say I like the figure. Do I like it as much as the figure arts? Well, I'll let you know towards later on in the review how I feel. But let's go ahead and go over the accessories and see what he comes with. So he comes with this, gritting face here. Comes with a yelling face. What I do like that they did is they use that glossy paint to make the eyes look shiny, which looks pretty good. And then he comes with these two stylized hands here. Looks like he's, I want to say these might be the sparring hands, or maybe these are the sparring hands. These seem like more like a relaxed kind of hands here. The sculpt's really nice on these. The paintwork is pretty good throughout, and on all the hands they're a soft plastic, real soft, almost rubbery plastic. And that's one thing that is very common on the figure, at least so far with the Scorpion I have and this Ryu, is they really utilize a lot of soft plastics. And then you get two more hands that are on the Hadouken effect. They're not on there, but you can, finagle them on and peg them in. And then here's the Hadouken effect. Came out pretty nice. You can undo it like that. And then it also came with this extra piece here that just kind of snaps on like that, but it kind of falls off too. But it's a pretty neat accessory. Getting him to pose with his hands like that may be a little troubling, but maybe we'll try it out on here. And also he comes with this cool Street Fighter V display stand. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's ratcheting, so it makes a lot of noise. It's got a little spring in there, and then even the little arms on here are spring loaded as well, as you can see. I'm not sure how to ratchet that back down, but it ratchets up. I'll have to look into how to ratchet that back down. Maybe just some force. No, don't want to break it, so yeah. So anyway, let's get into articulation. Let's look at the figure. Let's see what it's got. Like I said, I really like that they use the real glossy paint or glossy finish on the eyes there. That looks good. The sculpt on the gi looks pretty nice. One thing is, they went with this real kind of like dirty look, which is, fairly accurate for the game. Which looks pretty nice. Okay, so the figure can look up about that much. You can kind of push it, but it's like a rubbery, this top torso is a rubbery piece here. So that's about all you're going to get looking up. Looking down, that's about all you're going to get too. He's burying his, head into his chest. And I think, let me see, looks to be like a double ball peg in there. Let me just pop that in. And then to remove the faces, you just kind of pull that off there. Throw that one on there. And then his bandana is another soft plastic here, so you can see. Now his, and it falls out fairly easy. So he's got these kind of like butterfly joints here on a ball joint. And he's got a hinge in here, and it swivels all the way around. And the gi is a nice soft rubbery plastic. You can like stretch it, just like Scorpion. but he's beefier than Scorpion. You got a bicep swivel here, you got a double hinged elbow. It gets a fairly decent amount of motion there. You got a ball joint in the wrist, which swivels around. These pieces do come off, and they're soft plastic as well. Okay, well we're not gonna use that hand anymore then, apparently. Okay, so you can maneuver that around and whatnot, and then you can move this up to kind of cover the articulation, which is cool. Now the torso, he's got an ab crunch here, there's like a ball peg here, and then there's another ball peg in the bottom here. So you can get him to crunch, but every time I do that, the top torso pops off. As you can see in here, the top torso is popped off, so I need to snap that back on. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to get snapped back in. And I don't think I can do it quite yet. So, yeah. But he can turn back and forth. Oh, that sounds horrible. Right there, or up here. You can do it from either way, because they're both on ball pegs. The leg goes up about that far. You do get a thigh swivel in here. The way it is, it's on a T-joint, and this is another soft piece of plastic. It's really like, they really go with like a kind of like plastic skeleton and throw a lot of like soft plastic on top, which isn't a bad thing because you can get articulation. So we got a thigh swivel there. The legs go back that far. You've got a double hinge knee right here. You don't get a boot swivel, but you get it's like a ball peg on the bottom, and you only get about that much with an ankle pivot. You get that toe joint there, and the thing I run into is that pops off easy when I'm trying to get, maximum articulation. It pops off on me all the time, which isn't bad. I mean, he can still get into a lot of crazy poses, so it's not an all-around bad thing. The thing that annoys me, which I'm going to have to stop here and get this peg plugged back in because it doesn't want to go back in. Okay, so I got the peg back in, and I went ahead and put the effect on there. And due to this being soft plastic, it really kind of starts to sag a little bit, I want to say. So as you can see, it's like stretching the fingers because the effect is so heavy, and it even wants to pull off of the hand. As you can see here. I mean, it's going to take some work to get it right, but yeah. So anyway, Jesus, what the hell? Okay, that's back together now. All right, so let's do a little bit of a size comparison here and see how he scales next to the other figures. I'm sure you guys have already seen this, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts on it. So here he is next to Scorpion. He still looks really, really beefy next to Scorpion, and Scorpion's pretty ripped, but Scorpion looks a lot more slender compared to Ryu. Like, Ryu looks just really, really beefy. But I would have to say I like this Scorpion figure better than I like the Ryu figure, to be honest. Just to let you know right now. This thing is killer. For Mortal Kombat, this is where it's at. No questions. Storm is where it's at for Mortal Kombat figures. So here he stands next to the Soda Street Fighter Ryu, the old grandpa Ryu, and as you can see, he's considerably larger. You have like almost a hulked out version of Ryu here compared to this old figure. And then we have him next to the Figuarts. And as you can see, he's considerably larger than the SH Figuarts. You know. At the end of the day, it really depends on what your preference is. For me, it seems like with the Storm, they're kind of going for a more Americanized kind of vibe with, you know, the, I guess, artistic rendering of it. It seems like this is a more, you know, non-Americanized vibe figure, I guess. I don't know. The eyes being so far apart bugged me on this figure. That's it. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Everything else is killer. And maybe this ball peg here, and maybe that we can't move this, because I know with Chun-Li you're able to, you know, rotate her bracelets. It would be nice to move that around so you get that to look right, like we do here. I do like that. There's a lot of things that I like about both figures, simply because they're Street Fighter figures. I like them. But I do have to say I like the SH Figuarts more. I can get him into better poses. I like how it looks a little bit more clean. I know some people may like the more, you know, dirty, worn look of this figure, and that's fine. If you like this figure better, that's awesome. I personally like this one. So does that mean I would say not to buy this? Hell no. Pick this up at Toys R Us. It's $54.99. You can get it here in America in the store. You can't do that with this guy, but he's still worth, you know, ordering. So at least now, maybe they're gonna, you know, hopefully Bluefin will be putting these in Toys R Us like these are. You know, Bison is dropping now. I'll be getting him as soon as I can get my hands on him, so I'll do a review then as well to check that out. You know, you get a lot of extras for $54. This is a smoking deal. You know, walking out of Toys R Us with this figure, with, you know, you've got the energy effect. You've got, Jesus, 2, 4, 6 hands, 3 different faces. This really bitchin' display stand. So, you know, would I say not buy it? No, I would highly recommend this figure. It's awesome. We're also getting a blue variant, and I believe there's a purple variant. I could be wrong. I think that's the Capcom one. But it seems to be that Storm is more open with doing variants. I haven't heard anything about SH Figuarts variants. So, enough of my rambling on. Thanks for watching. Feel free to click like, leave me a comment, and click subscribe. Take it easy, guys.
Crispy.